Hi everyone, greetings of the day. I feel happy to introduce myself as Dr. Vidyavati, Assistant Professor, Christo Jayanti deemed to be University. And today I'm going to share a lecture on a very beautiful poem which conveys so many things that life is precious and we need to fight often to win our life, and even we need to fight with death, which is the main message conveyed through this poem by Dylan Thomas. And the poem is do not go uh, gentle into that good night. So I'll share my screen. Yes. So this is the poem Do Not Go Gentle into That Good Night by Dylan Thomas. And when it comes to author's introduction, as usual, he is considered to be the famous 20th century poet. And he is known for his sonority, music and language, strong emotions and vivid imagery. He had a deep dramatic voice and he became extremely popular for his poetry readings. He worked in various magazines and even worked in BBC, and his poetry often explores the concept of life and death, nature, childhood memories, and human emotions. We can find beautiful poems of him like And Death Shall Have No Dominion, Fernhill poem in October, etc. And when it comes to this context of this poem, Do Not Go Gentle into That Good Night, it's written in the year 1947 and published in 1951. And his inspiration is his father, who is G.J. Thomas, a former grammar school teacher who was becoming blind and frail. And during his deathbed, he composes this poem, and he asks his father to come back, fight against death, because we shouldn't accept easily whatever. Mhm. So, when it comes to the theme, it is about the plea for the dying to maintain their spark and passion until the very last moment rather than accepting death stoically. He says everyone shouldn't accept the death like a stoic. We should fight against even the death. So, this is the poem which I have given. You can skim through the poetry, and it's a beautiful poem in which you can find it's three lines of five stanzas, and the last stanzas is quatrain, four lines. So it is totally 19 lines. So, as I said, when it comes to the structure of the poem, the most important technical aspect is that it is a villanelle. Okay. It is a villanelle. It runs like a beautiful movie, like it's a villanelle which uh, encourages somebody. So its structure is it's 19 lines consisting of five sets, three lines, and one final quatrain. We can find the element of refrain that the first and third lines of the first stanza are repeated alternatively. Rage, rage against the death, that which rage, rage against the spark of the light, which we can find. So it is followed by a couplet at the end. The themes are mortality, defiance, and family. When it comes to stanza one, it says about do not go gentle into the good night. Old age should burn and rave at the close of the day, rage against the dying of the light. So, in this good night, the word is considered to be a metaphor which signifies death. There are two types of night. One is the usual night, and another night, the pannas, the permanent sleep. So here that is referred to. Good night refers to the permanent sleep, which is death. He insists that elderly people should burn with passion to live, rather accepting the death in a quiet way. Rather than accepting death in a quiet way, they should fight like anything, though it is their old age. And they should not fight just like that. They should fight aggressively against death. And they shouldn't leave it as old age. and we should go just like that. They should fight against. That makes the sense that they are human beings, that we are all human beings, that we should fight even at the time of their death. This is according to old man's perspective. They shouldn't. Old man's perspective by the author, Dylan Thomas says even old people won't leave their lives. So we also have to live our life and fight against death in our old age, burning with vibrancy. And the second category concentrated is wise men. In this, he says, though wise men at their end know dark is right. Dark is right means that death is inevitable. They also feel that their words has spoke no lightning in the sense no knowledge. Their words, though it has created so many impression, it is not enough. It hasn't created that much impact. So they won't be ready to leave the world easily. They want to inculcate some knowledge in somebody. So wise people won't leave their life up to the end. They fight and they want to teach something to others. This is the wise man perspective when it comes to death. And then comes good men. Good men is normal people. um, they cry how bright their failed deeds might have danced in Green Bay. Green Bay is a metaphor which represents vibrant life, and where their frail deeds could have something shown brighter, they will always think, I should have done something better. Good men will always think that they should do good for others. So the goodness should always continue. So they'll also fight against it. They won't be ready to live their life. And in their mind, it's like um, they have to always do good for the family, for the society. So deeds and dances, we can find the device of alliteration in deeds and dance in that second line of the third stanza. So again, the refrain is repeated, rage, rage against the dying light. When it comes to fourth stanza, wild men are concentrated. Here, wild men refers to hedonist point of view, which means a man who is of passion. They want to live their life up to the fullest, enjoying the life by drinking, by carrying out the pleasures in life. So we can find they sang the sun in flight, which refers to they want to enjoy their life. They want to jump up to the sun. They want to sing up to that vibrancy. And they are also not ready to live their life, not ready to give up as they didn't explore the world yet. They want to explore always. They want to travel. They want to enjoy the pleasure in life. So they also won't give up their life. We can see the alliteration in the line, it's like the first line in the fourth stanza, sang and sung. And grave man when it comes to serious men who is nearing the death and who see with blinding sight, which refers to they are nearing the death. So they are like sans vision. They won't be seeing completely. Blind eyes could blaze like meteors. So even at that stage, some people they want to live. Some people they want to blaze, shine like meteors, and they want to be happy even in the grave situation. So they won't be ready to leave the life. So rage against the dying of the life. These men are physically failing, perhaps. What I've given is losing sight, but they have their willpower. They realize that they still can live life. So, grave, the word is a pun. The pun bridges the gap between person's character, that is, they are very serious, and their physical reality, they are nearly dying. One grave refers to serious personality, and another grave refers to their dying stage. And blinding sight is the element of oxymoron is used. Sight is something which creates like through vision we can be able to see. Blinding sight is which we can't see. So it is like oxymoron. A sight which is blinding. So both words can be seen. Simile is seen like blaze like meteors, and alliteration we can find in each and every stanza. Here also it's there with the first line, blind and blaze. And stanza 6 is very important because this is rather like a resolution in which he says it's a plea. He begs his father. Father, you please respond to me. You stand on the sad height refers to his verge, dying state. Curse, bless me now with your fierce tears. Show some emotion. Curse me or bless me. Do something, I pray. Do not go gentle into the good night. So he begs his father, please, father, you do not go gently into the good night. Rage against, please fight against the death. So this is like you can find the refrains finally coming together. It's a desperate plea to his father to resist that. Though it is known death is inevitable, he asks his father to resist it, respond to him. And you can find apostrophe, you, my father, and you, my father, there on the stand height. The device is used, oxymoron, curse and bliss metaphor is seen, sad height signifies bad plight. Few takeaways through this poetry. Death is inevitable, but submission is optional. We can find various people who submit to death and somebody who fighting against death. So life is measured by its unfinished nature. We can't say life will be complete. And we can see the paradox of fears, love in this poem. So it's fears in the sense it should be like fighting against. It's not of tranquil, smooth path. So he will say it should be fierce love, fierce. We should fight for everything in our life. The power of late insight, which we can find in this poem. So thank you. Though it is a beautiful poem, it tells about the normal human nature, and Dylan Thomas. He emphasizes the concept that we should fight for our rights. We should fight even with the death to make our life making insights for others or inspiration for others. Some of the questions which can be expected is about the men who are analyzed, or about the summary, thematic analysis, motive scene. Hope this poem has reached you, students. And thank you for listening. Meet you in another lecture. Thank you.